Many thanks for staying tuned. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. Before we went on that break, we did tell you that part one of our conversation this morning is, the race towards the 2027 elections. And to have a credible election, the Independent National Electoral Commission must have a leadership ahead, and that is the chairman. The current chairman of the organization will be retiring soon, and there needs to be someone else in the helms of affairs. Who will this person be? Does the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria expressly state the qualification for a new chairman of, or a chairman of INEC? I'm not sure that is, but of course there are certain requirements that that person must, of course, have. And of course, joining the conversation this morning is the legal luminary, and together we'll be taking a look at who or the qualities of the new person that the president will settle for at the end of the day. Join us this morning as a welcome Dr. Tunji Abayomi. He is a constitutional lawyer. Thank you for being here on the program, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Right, sir. So let's start this way. We know that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, really put some things down as to the person who should be the INEC chair should be one who's over 50 years, should be one who's had about 15 years of experience, or who's qualified to be a Supreme Court judge. But break it down for us. Must this person be a lawyer before being qualified to be in that position?
No.
Okay.
He does not have to be a lawyer.
Okay.
But he must not also belong to any political party.
Right.
As a matter of but the severity of qualification is emphasized by the requirement that the appointment must be supported by the Senate. And there must also be a consultation with the Council of State.
Okay.
So the whole idea is that if we're going to go through all these processes, we're going to end up with the best quality, the most qualified person, having regard to the criteria set by the Constitution. Obviously, if it's a lawyer, it helps in the sense that he would be able to interpret the Electoral Act, the Constitution, and so on and so forth, because election is all about laws, but apart from that, he doesn't have to be a lawyer. Okay. Obviously, there will be a legal department.
Definitely.
That he can depend upon for purposes of electioneering,
right,
in the country.
Okay.
So what does the Constitution say about the powers of Mr. President to also appoint the new chairman for INEC? That's one. And the quality of candidate that is going to appoint this time around, how does he navigate the pressure that will be coming from the man that appointed him, as well as all the political parties? Because there will be pressure whether we like it or not.
Well, the first and foremost is the prerogative of the president to appoint the chairman of INEC. Now, having made the appointment, it will have to be approved by the Senate. And the appointment will be with consultation with the Council of State. And the Council of State has some of the top leaders, former presidents, former deputy, and so on and so forth. Now, the chairman of INEC, the appointment is really not the problem. It follows the norm, so to say. Is executing the powers that is granted by the laws and the Constitution to bring forth election. Now, how do we now get a good election in the country? It's interesting. I once wrote a letter to the former President Obasanjo. That was only his tenure. And I said that his tenure will not be remembered for the roads or the water or all those physical development, but for laying appropriate framework for future governments. And I said, how do you do that give Nigeria a free and fair election. Then the question is, how do you give Nigeria a free and fair election? I said, Mr. President, your party must be ready to lose. And I said, if your party loses, Nigeria will gain if you give this nation a free and fair election. And the testament of your administration will remain permanent. The problem of our country is to have a good election, the people in power must make up their mind. They want to give this nation a free and fair election. Now, if we want to give this nation a free and fair election, and for example, just for purposes of argument in law, we say agreement, and you are an unpopular, you are leading an unpopular government, then of course you could lose. Do we have leaders that are willing to lose so that the nation will gain? It's a $1 million question.
Well, Jonathan lost and he accepted the defeat.
Yes, but the point I'm making is, yes, that is after the election. Was Jonathan's election free and fair? That's the question. You know, you may want to win and you lose. There's no problem. The question is whether you are willing to lose so that this nation will win. In other words, you say to yourself, I'm going to give this nation a free and fair election, even if I lose.
If not if the situation makes me lose.
Yes, you see, when the situation where you are compared, you lose because the situation you couldn't win. You know? And it is not just, it is a matter of pronouncing it to the nation, to say, look, people of Nigeria, whether a governor, a local government chairman, or the president, I am committed to give your nation, our nation, a free and fair election, even if I lose.
You must say it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have not gotten a leader. If you look at the history from 1999, every leader wants to win.
Yeah.
And the nation is not winning in terms of free and fair election. In reality, it's a tragedy for the people, because the only thing the people actually have, is a constitute government over them. They don't have house in Maitama, they don't have in Ikoyi, they don't have a motor Ayokele, they don't have a capacity to eat Burger King or Chinese food. They don't have anything. The only thing they have is to constitute government over themselves, to remove bad government and constitute good government.
Right.
But look at our situation. Even that is not available to the people.
Doctor, if we look at the I in INEC itself, it says independent. And so if truly that body should be independent, and then, of course, he would dictate he will place the piper, dictates the tune. And we have the president nominating, being the sole nominator of the person who's to take responsibility as the chair of INEC. Would we always have that independence, especially in the face of what you've just explained now, that what the country really needs is a free, fair, credible election to be overseen by the man who is at the helm of affairs? So if we continue to have Mr. President nominate this person, would we truly say that body is independent?
There's no other way by which the nominee can be nominated. The head of government will still have to make the nomination. But you see, the Constitution, in an attempt to create independence, creates a lot of embankments. Recognizes that the chairman of INEC is like a wild river that can easily overrun its banks. So he created a number of embankments. Before this man becomes chairman, the Senate must approve. The Senate, in essence, representing the people. They can raise questions. They can query. Then the Council of State. And then he sets other criteria. The problem of our nation is that, I'm sorry to say that, it is increasingly difficult for leadership in our country to deeply, I'm emphasizing, deeply stand for the people. Of course, they can superficially stand for the people, pretending
to be for the people.
To be for the people. This whole idea of creating an independent, it is to ensure that we have good government according to the wish of the people. Remember what democracy is. Like I once said, democracy is not the government of leaders by leaders and for the benefit to give to this nation. See, the tragedy of our nation is not just about the leaders, right. It's also about the people. A commitment as a people to ensure that election produces the people that the people want through free and fair election. That's why we have crisis in every election. I traveled with the former president to Angola many, many years ago to monitor election. I have monitored election in many, many countries. How does it make sense that in this late hour of human evolutionary progression, our nation cannot give to the people election that the people will be proud of? How does it make sense? How does it make any sense that for the people to vote, you have to bribe them? How does it make sense? When I was running for election, I ran for governor, I was told that I had to camp the people, give them
delegates.
Yes. I said to them, camp the people in the hotel, delegates, feed them for weeks. I said, but I want to serve them. I don't understand. That always beat my mind. And they said they won't vote for me. I said, why would they not vote for me? He said, because you don't.
You're not treating the delegates.
I said, if they don't vote for me, I go back to my work. And truly, they didn't vote for me.
They were not looking for the...
Yes, at the end of it, out of 2,000 delegates, I think I had what I call 5 honorable votes. You understand what I mean? The last 5
honorable votes.
Yes. The last governor of Ondo State, Roti Makedo, is always joking about that I was asked to have an agent. I didn't have any agent. What's the need for that? And I put people in the hotel. I didn't do any of those
And
things.
you were looking to get delegates.
Yes.
I mean, that's actually a point. We can laugh at it, but then it's a very strong point as to where we are as a nation. Doctor, let's look at perhaps are there lessons that we can learn as a nation, or Mr. President can also learn from past appointments, which has brought Nigeria to this particular position, and perhaps also either rekindle or further mar the identity or the representation of INEC on the minds of Nigerians?
Well, obviously the president can look at the past history, which has brought us an imperfect electoral objective, situation. Well, it is a difficult choice. The question is the president ready to lose?
So we'll still have to go back to that point.
Yes, so this is the issue. Is he ready to lose election? And until a president is, like I told President Obasanjo, to give the nation a free and fair election, your party must be ready to lose. And if a party loses, and you give this nation a free and fair election, the nation has won. But how many political leaders are ready to lose? You know what I think it's Plato said, when they have bathed themselves in Persian oil and enjoyed the privileges of office, how do you convince them to want to leave? It's not easy. And what is required, particularly in developing nations, is sacrifice in all ramifications, in all areas. But where are the leaders? If you look at the nations that have achieved greatness, these are people, leaders who make up their mind. They're going to raise the nation to a new level and make the sacrifice. But it is not easy for a nation. Part of the reason is because no leader wants to be poor again.
Okay. What if we are fortunate enough to have that kind of leader or political party that is willing to lose? At this moment in the history of our democracy, what kind of INEC chairman do you think we need?
Just the same INEC chairman, the constitution, defines, say, must be a man of impeccable integrity.
What if you are impeccable and when you get to that office,
and the office? And
that's the problem. Again, you know, it is personal decision. It is like I'm saying to you, you wanted me, I'm running for election for the governor. You want me to put you in a hotel to bribe you to do this. So, am I ready to lose? If I decide not to, yes, I'm ready to lose. So, I refuse. So, until we have leaders, the chairman of INEC, who says that, come what may, even if it is necessary, you can remove me. Remove me, but I will do my job in the interest of the people.
Right.
To give the people a free and fair election. Because at the end of it all, there is nothing that says that the chairman of INEC has to succumb to pressure. There's nothing that says requires him to succumb. So if there's a pressure on you, you can resist it.
Or resign.
Or resign.
Right.
You can resist or resign. There's nothing that says you have to succumb to pressure. So many times people say this, it is still a problem of leadership. The courage to stand for something instead of the weakness to fall for everything.
Right. So, I mean, you've talked about before we allow you go. You've talked about the fact that no matter how much, no matter what the president does, the credibility of that individual is also very important, and it is at stake. If peradventure the president appoints someone and the Senate disagrees, where do we go from there?
It will be, make another appointment
Until we get someone right.
Yes, until the Senate is satisfied that the person that is appointed meets the criteria established by the Constitution. That is a man of impeccable integrity. He does not belong to any political party or have
Any
sympathy
interest.
for any political party.
But looking at the conduct of this Senate so far, they have this style of coming for appointees to come and take a bow and they just go. Do you see them doing a thorough job as regards the screening of the INEC chairman that's going to replace the outgoing one?
The problem again is, that's why we speak of the need to have a new structure by creating a new constitution for the people of Nigeria. Everywhere in this nation, the legislative arm is just the second arm of the executive. But the legislature is supposed to represent the people, to curtail the appetite of the executive. That's what the legislative, that's why they have all of them elected from different constituencies in the interest of the people. But look at what is happening. When you look at the states, the Speaker of the House will be bound down. Some of them even kneel down
before the government.
For the head of the executive. When in fact we are talking of co-equal branches of government in the interest of the people. So it comes down to the capacity to sacrifice, the capacity to say that, look, even if you don't give me money, I will stand for something.
Right. Doctor, before we go finally this morning, we do know, like you've stated here, what the Constitution stipulates that, part of the requirement. And since we're asking for the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to again be looked into to create a perfect one for us, which area would you like for, especially in the Electoral Act or the Constitution itself, especially on the nomination of an INEC chair? Are there things that you like for the Constitution to capture as prerequisites for this individual that will man such a sensitive position?
This is essential. If power is diffused, like it happened in the First Republic in this nation, some states or some regions will focus on getting appropriate elections as a matter of necessity. People see what happened during the First Republic. Obafemi Awolowo was in the west, Azikiwe in the east. Ahmadu Bello was in the north. Obafemi Awolowo was pushing the west, sometimes incredibly. And as he was pushing the west to establish some of the firsts, even in the world, then the east said, oh, we are not going to be left behind. Competition is a trade of life.
Right.
So that's what's going to happen. What we have now, power is committed, is taken wholly and placed in the hand of the federal government. Right. And I'm sorry, that does everything poorly. It does everything wrongly. So even if we have now, let us say now, President Tinubu is there now. He's trying everything that he can to give this nation a better economy, election, and so on and so forth. But his tenure is very short. You know what I mean? Another president will come, maybe he's not influenced by all his efforts. And then we'll begin another voyage of discovery. So you need to change the structure of government. Like I always said, and I have said here, it is not a government that gives a nation a constitution, like the military gave us the constitution. It is a constitution that gives a nation a government. And it is not the content of a constitution that validates a constitution. It's a procedure of making a constitution that validates it.
Right.
But in our case, military impose a constitution on us that, which is actually Decree 24 of 1999. And what is decree? Forced law. A constitution that lied, told a lie, that we the people. Where are the people? Instead of saying we the military. So that is the situation. And unfortunately, the National Assembly at the beginning, that should have looked at the travail and the pain and the tears of the people in order to establish for the people a better society. They were preoccupied with their self-interest. Here we are.
Okay, here we are, and of course, here we will continue to be until we will find a better way forward. We'll have to leave this conversation here this morning. Thank you so much, Dr. Tunji Abarami, for finding time to be with us on the program. And of course, we wish you a happy birthday in advance. Our doctor's birthday is tomorrow. He'll be 75. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank you for giving us your time on the program today. We appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Happy birthday to you. I didn't forget to do that. Many happy returns.
Dinner on me. Yes. It has a cold. You would allow.
At your cost.
We'll take a quick break. When the conversation returns, Joy will be here with her Lagos conversation.